Yes, brethren and brethren. Um, nice Sunday morning, cool breeze. Sit down in I'm a little garden here, a whole a vibe, you know what I mean? Just had some thoughts I thought I'd share, you know what I mean? Um, this thing of um people saying that boy, people saying that social media, people are getting all this information on social media and all of a sudden people are social media doctors and people are social media this and that. And that there's no value to social media. You know, I've seen many a career being built on information that people got from social media. And I'm not talking about YouTubers and vloggers and things. I'm talking about people actually learning something and from social media and applying it and making a living. Um, Let me say this. When I was a child, I thought as a child and did childish things. You believe everything where them tell you. You believe everything your parents tell you. You believe everything you learn in a school and so on and so forth. Um, you grow up and start to think for yourself and start to check into things. You realize that a lot of what you would have learned was just good for that time. You know what I mean? A few examples. So we grew up, you know, learning in school that Christopher Columbus discovered Jamaica and how many islands in the Caribbean and blah 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 blah. Um, a black man named Dr. Ivan Van Sertima originated from Guyana and spent most of his professional life in the States. Did research and found uncovered that black people were coming into the Caribbean years, maybe centuries before Columbus came here. And people would never have thought that. But there's proof. There's proof. Um, the Olmec heads, if you know what that is. There are some carvings, some statuette kind of a figure all over South America in the bushes that was uncovered by Dr. Van Sertima of African heads that were carved and left there. Yeah, carved by the natives. But more than that, Columbus's own memoirs recorded that he saw black people here. And if you know anything about how the current works from West Africa into the Caribbean, um, do you guys know the sargassum seaweed that sometimes overtake our beaches here? That is coming straight off of West Africa. If you were to put a letter in a bottle and drop it in the sea, it is coming West Africa. It comes straight into the Caribbean, and so it is easy navigating to this side of the world from Africa. It's easy, so we can believe that. You know, we used to call the native people Arawaks, and yeah, we swore by that. And if you did write anything else in our exam, you'd have wrong. No, we know the people were not Arawaks, but Arawak was a language. people are Tainos. You know what I mean? Let's go further. So we by and large are Bible people. That's what we slave master give it. We are Christians around here. Um, if you know anything about Horus, you realize that whether it is a fact that Jesus lived or not, and whether him a God or whatever it was, the story of Jesus as presented to us is a plagiarization of Horus. Hmm? The Trinity, the virgin birth, even the picture that you have with Mary and Jesus is a plagiarization of the Black Madonna and child. Black Madonna being Isis with her baby Horus. Hmm? There are a whole heap of things that we come learn. We realize that it's not true. Dr. Ray Hagen have a thing where him do what me like. He make a circle with him hands, Him say all things within this circle. All things within the circle are things that I know. Everything else outside of the circle are things I don't know. And so for myself, I kinda leg off of this thing about belief. It's either I know or I don't know. So if I don't know and I say I believe, then I'm holding on to something. I don't need to go know. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with social media. We are not idiot. We know we're fool sitting from what is something plausible that you may not know. And if you don't know it, you just leave it alone. Rather than knock down people. Boy, it's conspiracy theory and blah. That kind of attitude gets us nowhere. We don't learn nothing from that. I'll give you a case in point. I have friends who, as musicians, as artists, go into Africa time and time again and come back with some stories as to how things that they've seen in Africa that they would have been considering to be supernatural and beyond man to do. And after hearing all these stories, what I do is when I travel or whenever I meet people from different cultures, I tend to ask them. I don't just dismiss it. No man, them think they're hocus pocus and no. But ask the people. And so one one discussion with our sister goes like this, or went like this. The sister came to the States from Africa, her from Kenya, to be more specific, and do her schooling in the States, have a couple of degrees and thing and then she was working with a record company, and I got to meet her and with a reason, and I would have asked these things that are here and how to relate some things. Are they true? Are these things, common to Africa, to African life? Things like I hear there are people that can cause rain to come down, and there are people that can stop rain. I don't know. I just don't question these things. I don't say I hocus pocus. Someone may ask this girl. She said, "Boy, Andy, let me tell you. I came to the States, and that is her. She said she come to the States, come go to school, and so she would have did, people that ask her questions, and should have did relate, things that she considered normal to her, kind of to her life in Africa. Um, and she said people say she mad when she tell people that things that were everyday occurrences, things that you'd have say as normal, all in a day, People say she mad. She say, and I don't discuss things with people now anymore about Africa because people now go believe. So my thing is, if you don't know, you don't know. You know what I mean? I find that we get education and then it limits, we're limiting ourselves because what we do, we have learned to get an education not to help us to think further, but to get a job. Mm? And so once we secure a job and we start make a living and the little money sweet and thing, we don't think we need to know nothing else, you know. Why do I need to know nothing else? I make money and I can buy a nice car, I live in a nice house and da 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 da. Yeah, my girl them nice because I have a dollar. When me a flex. Or according to the youth them nowadays, when them a braff. Them a braff. But it's more to life than that. There's way more to life than that. Hmm? You don't think so? Yeah, man. We You want more, you want deeper experiences, things that you can call upon later. You know, things that you can, when you get into a discussion with people, you can introduce and have discussions around and, you know, explore deeper. But when you limit your thing to just saying, boy, no, sir, conspiracy theory, or then you will never learn anything outside of what you learn in class, outside of what they have put in a book. Now, the man will put this thing in the book, the man will put it in the book had to have been thinking about some things. You know what I mean? And so, what you are say about what you learn. So I'm saying we all need to open our minds to deeper knowledge. Yeah, so when you see a man with a thing on wherever the source is, even social media, don't just dismiss it and say, well, yeah, people, all of a sudden everybody know everything on social media. There's a lot of things that you can learn, or at least it opens you up to go further. You know what I mean? It when I, for argument's sake, was first introduced to David Icke, I could have dismissed it and say, say, brother, conspiracy theory. I was introduced to David Icke after 9/11. When I go at my office and the first thing, 9/11, the plane them just hit the building. And a man, by the time he reached my office, half hour later, a man said, Bin Laden, I'm like, who is Bin Laden? You don't know about Bin Laden, that terrorist thing on where. Okay. But then by the time I got to my desk and I sat down, I started then, how him know Bin Laden already? Did he question that? It must be that you have bought a narrative and just repeating it. It's just the right time to draw upon it. There's no proof of that, but you draw upon it because what? You're programmed to think like that. And you never avail yourself of any knowledge, any further knowledge. Now we have come to realize that all of this was hocus pocus. All of that was hocus pocus. But we did believe it. Let me share some experience that I've had. You see, radio, and this is, you see, as we talk about social media, at least social media oftentimes give you the thing right on spot. So we don't talk about when a man just come and say something. Some of the time social media is there on spot. And you can see for yourself. Where you want to get sanitized news, so it go in at the newsroom and then put it together. You realize that a lot of this is an act, people. Especially American media. You never really get the truth, do you? No man, you never really get the truth. It's kind of just sanitized. You know what I mean? And I can tell you, I go a radio station, I mean, being in the music over the years. I go a radio station in the States. And what you think is the number one song is really just set up to be the number one song. You never know that? I think Bawulipa will know that. The name of the songs are color coded. And so this must be the hot song. This is the next bubbling song, and you understand? So for argument's sake, at the time there was a Beyonce song. And that was supposed to be the disc jockey have to know say this are the song where you're supposed to be pushing. And why is that? The radio station is owned by the same corporation that owns the record company that Beyonce is coming out of. We don't know these things. Nobody tells you that. So when you look at what you consider your chart and oh, this is it on the chart, and it is all a lie. It is all made up. It is all false. It is all something that bounds you to think a certain way. Your thoughts are programmed for you and you don't even know that. So we can't just dismiss people's the information out there that people put out as social media rubbish, or from any other media for that purpose. You know what I mean? We tend to think that, oh, I have an education, so you don't know nothing. You know nothing. That's what you have to tell yourself. I don't know nothing. And then you open yourself up to receive knowledge. Don't think you're better than the next man. Oh, I have a degree, so him can't tell me nothing. Mr. PJ Patterson one time, I put up a bridge out of St. Thomas there. Seeing out of Yalas. And bring this foreign engineer and and blah 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 and thing. And a little man will live out of Yalas and I walk around there and PJ and I say, boss, this I go wash away, And after about the third time, PJ get mad pan TV and run with the man. The bridge never lasts more than 2 months, Right now you can see, I think you can probably see the mangled remains of that bridge. When you go to Yalas, down in the water, there's down in the riverbed there somewhere. People, you have to know that you know not. That is how you get to know things. Stop dismissing people about people and become social media doctors and them know everything. Whatever you have as a degree in your hand, understand this. All the knowledge that it took you to acquire to get that degree is now available to everybody. Them now for pay for it. The only difference with you and people out there is that you paid to get your knowledge, and you can walk with a piece of paper go in a man office and say, see, let me have it, So we need it. You know what I mean? Because you have to eat, you have to make a living. But stop walking around with your nose turned up and oh, I'm better than the next guy because you don't know nothing. Understand that. Seeing? Yeah man, that's just the truth. So I'm gonna leave you with this, man. Know that you know not. Seeing? Bless upon yourself. Respect.